Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to create dinosaurs using the custom shape feature in Photopea. This will be the first time that we've used Photopea, so if you're in Google Classroom, there should be a link at the bottom of your page for Photopea, but if you don't see the link, you can type in it's photopea.com. We're going to click on this, and the first thing that we need to do before, if you get an error message, just ignore that. That's not a big deal. Let's see. The first thing that we want to do is click on Account, and you want to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and log out of mine so you guys can see it. I'm going to click Log In, and I'm going to choose Google, and then I can just close this out because I'm going to use the um, free account. So sometimes you're going to see ads over here. The school has no control over those ads. We're going to go to File, and we're going to do New. And we want to create a standard size document that we would be able to print out if we wanted to print our image. The first thing that I am going to do is I am going to name this document. And so you are going to type in your first and last name, and then either an underscore or a hyphen, and you're going to call it Dino, D-I-N-O. And then we want to change the unit of measurement to inches. We want to make our width 11, and our height is going to be 8.5, and we're going to leave this at 72 pixels per inch. So when we get these measurements right here created, we're going to hit Create, and now we have a document that is ready to go. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about toolbars, and when you see the toolbar, this area over here on the left side of your screen will be your toolbar, and on the right side of the screen are the panels. Now, anytime we click on an option on the toolbar, you'll notice that this top line is also changing. This is called my options bar. So hopefully that'll kind of orient you with where you need to be. The first thing that we're going to look at is the foreground background color down here at the bottom. You see a black and white box. By default, our foreground color is black and our background color is white. Okay, so we want to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to click on the black tool or the black box, and then I'm just going to go get a light blue color and press OK. I'm not going to worry about custom colors for right now. This is going to be the sky, and we'll show you how to fix that. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to come up here and select our rectangle tool. So this is the rectangle select. If you're in Photoshop, it's called rectangular marquee tool. And you'll notice that it looks like a dotted line rectangle. So we click on that. With my cursor up here outside of the top left part of the page, I'm going to click and drag down. I'm going to eyeball it so I can kind of guesstimate where I'm at. And I want to go about 2/3 of the way down. Now, I've got my foreground color is blue, and I want to be able to fill this in quickly with a paint bucket. So I'm going to hold down my gradient tool, which is right here, and you'll see that there's a little G beside it. Those are the keyboard commands that get you these icons. I want to click on the paint bucket right now, so I just hold down my mouse on top of the gradient, and then the paint bucket is hiding in this drawer. So we're going to click on the paint bucket, and now when I click inside there, I just filled that shape in with blue. Let's go back to the rectangle marquee tool again, and I'm going to draw another box around the bottom third. And now let's change our color. So I'm going to click right here on the blue square, and I'm going to go up here to the green color. And I think that green looks a little bit silly, so I'm going to bring my circle down here on my screen. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, and I'll press OK. I've got my paint bucket. I'm going to click in here, and now I've just filled in that shape. So I've made a background for my image. To deselect, we're going to Control D on the keyboard, or you can go up and do Select and deselect. Now you'll notice that over here on the right side of your screen, you have what we call the Layers panel. And right now, we only have one layer in our document, but we want to create some new layers to work with. So down here at the bottom of your Layers panel, you have a trash can, and then you have a little folded piece of paper. It says New. We're going to click on New, and so that creates a new layer. So whatever I'm going to work on will now appear on a separate layer, and I won't mess up my background. Okay, so far so good. We have already covered one page of instructions. Go team. Hey, the next thing, we're going to come down here to our shape options. The shape option is right above the hand, and by default it looks like a rectangle. If you press the letter U on the keyboard, it will activate your shapes. And then to toggle between the different shapes, sometimes you can press the U again and again and again, and it will toggle through. For some reason on my keyboard today, it's not working. I'm going to go down here to Custom Shape. I'm going to click on Custom Shape, and I want to be able to create some cool custom shapes that we can use in our assignment. The first thing that we're going to do is we make sure that shape is an option that's selected, and we're going to change our fill color to gray. We'll change the colors later on, but for while you're learning how to use the shape options, gray is easy because it's not distracting. Now, when we have our custom shape options, if I click over here on this arrow, it looks like it's taking a little bit to load, I've got some custom shapes that will pop up. Now mine may look a little different than yours because I have downloaded some from the internet, but I'm going to show you guys how to download a set that I've made just for you. So we're going to click on this little arrow that drops down, and I'm going to choose load, and this is custom shapes. So load CSH. I click on that, and so now I pull up the iDrive. And in the iDrive, this is your network folder, so let's review how to get there. If I click on this PC on this side of your screen, you'll see that you have one that's GHS $, GISD data, and it has an iDrive with a semicolon. I'm going to click on that, 2 clicks, find Bradley, 2 clicks, and down here at the, I didn't even put it inside a folder. I just put Bradley Dino Shapes. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to press enter or load. Now it's asking us, do we want to load this next time we use this editor? We're going to say, okay, I don't know if it will continue to work for you guys or not, but sure do hope so. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do, because we loaded the Bradley Dino Shapes, they're going to appear down here at the bottom of my screen. So I'm going to slide down here to get the Bradley shapes. And I'm going to be very specific in some shapes that I want you to draw. And we're going to hopefully get this done together. The first thing I'm going to get this circle, but I really don't want to draw a circle. I want it to be more oval shape. So I'm going to click and drag my cursor. We're going to kind of eyeball these. They're not going to be perfect at first, and that's okay. So I made one large oval. Now I'm going to make kind of a medium oval. Okay, so we just created our second oval. Now we're going to go back up to our shape tools and scroll back down to the Bradley shapes that we pulled up. And I'm going to find this crescent moon here. And so I'm going to draw a crescent moon. It's okay if I do these in different sizes because we're going to change them up in a little bit. And you'll notice that as I create each shape, it's appearing on a different layer. Now the next thing that we're going to do, go back to our shape tool. We're going to refer to this a lot, so hope you guys can find it easily. The next I want to go, there's a heart, and it's not like a really happy fat heart like the one up here. This one's just kind of a simple heart, and it's more narrow. And so I'm going to purposely draw it a little bit more narrow. I'm going to make 2 of them. It's okay if they're not the exact same size. And the next thing, going down towards the bottom here, let's see, I'm looking for a lightning bolt, and I actually have 2 lightning bolts there and there. Let's see if I got, let's go ahead and we're just going to choose a lightning bolt. It doesn't have to be the exact perfect one, so I'm going to go there. And now I want to get a banner shape, so I'm going to go back to my shapes. Oops, scrolling down. And I have a banner that kind of looks like a wavy banner. Mine's right here. So I'm going to do the wavy banner. It's okay if we're not exactly fitting these on the screen in the same spot because we will fix that in a little bit. I'm going to go back to my circles. And I'm going to get this solid fill circle. I'm going to do 2 small ones. And then the last thing, I'm going to go back to the lightning bolt. You may find that there's another lightning bolt hidden somewhere in, whoops, there's the other lightning bolt. So I'm going to use that one for right now. So there's my small lightning bolt. Okay, so after we have our shapes created, we are going to do some shape manipulation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and start with layer 1, which was my original shape, the circle over here that I selected. So with layer 1 selected, I want to start kind of moving things around. Up here in the top corner of my toolbar, I have the Move tool. It's the letter V. I can click on it and I can kind of move these around. Now, I'm going to click on shape number 1, which was the medium size oval, and I want to be able to rotate it. And I can do rotations a couple of different ways. I can go to Edit and choose Free Transform, and it gives me these bounding box. And if I put my cursor out here to the side of the bounding box, it will allow me to rotate it slightly. So I'm going to go at about a 45, maybe not quite a 45-degree angle, and I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Now, I'm going to click on my crescent shape, and instead of going up and doing the Edit Free Transform option, I'm going to hold down Control, Alt, and hold down the letter T. You're going to see that that gives you the same bounding box that we had a while ago, but now it will let us do it just by a keyboard command. And actually, on this bounding box, I want to flip my my little crescent moon just a little bit. So I'm going to kind of rotate him to the side a little bit. Now I'm going to press the check mark up here on the options bar that just says, yes, you like what you just did. Now we're going to select both hearts, and I'm going to Control Alt T one at a time. If I right click inside here, I can flip it vertically, which is what I want to do. And then I'm going to rotate it just slightly. I'm going to press the check mark or press enter on my keyboard so that I can get out of that transformation box. And I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm just going to practice my rotation again. And so I'm going to turn it like that. Now, I'm not sure I really like this lightning bolt just yet. Maybe we're going to play around with that for a little bit. Let's click on the banner. And so I'm going to Control Alt T. And on the banner, I want to rotate it. And then once I get it almost straight up and down, it's not quite, I'm going to right click inside and flip horizontal. Okay. Let's see, maybe I need to rotate it back a little bit. Now, sometimes when you flip them, they don't always end up exactly how you envision it. So I'm going to go like that. And now on the last thing I want to do is I want to click on the little bitty baby lightning bolt here. I'm going to Control Alt T, and I'm going to turn that one on its side so it's pointing to the left and the right. Okay, so we are doing really good. You guys have all your shapes created. I hope you're following along easily with this. Now we are going to create these shapes and turn them into a fun little dinosaur. So the first thing that I'm going to do, this is my dinosaur's little body. So I'm going to move him here, and we're going to use the hearts for his legs. So go like that. Okay, and so far so good. Now his tail is going to be part of this crescent moon here, and I'm going to use the little banner for his head, and then this is going to be, or sorry, for his neck. Oh, that'd be crazy. So now I've got his head here. What can we do with this lightning bolt? I think I'm going to have to resize it. So to resize it easily, if I go back into my Edit Free Transform mode or my Control T mode, I can go in and kind of resize these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to overlap it with his neck here so that the little spikes point outward. It probably would have been better if I'd used the other lightning bolt. We'll try that one in just a second. Okay, and then I've got this will be his eye, the outer part of his eye. This will be the inner part of his eye. And then this is going to be his mouth. Now, the problem that I'm going to run into is that if I make these all the same color and I continue to stack them, then I'm going to run into some problems because I won't be able to see where I put them. So I'm going to click on the small circle, and I'm going to come over to my color picker, and I'm going to choose black for that. Oops, let's see why is that not working? There we go. Sometimes you have to click on it twice. I'm going to double click on this shape. Let's try that. And I'm going to choose white, but you're going to notice that you don't have a white here. But if I drag my cursor all the way to the very top left corner, My hex number will be all Fs, and my RGB number will be all 255. That is white. So now I can move that, and that would make it look more like an eyeball. Okay, and for fun, let's make the lightning bolt mouth red. Okay, so I'm getting ready to move some of this stuff over so you guys can, whoops. Okay, so I'm going to move the lightning bolt over here, so now we've got his mouth. Maybe that's like a little, I don't know, maybe tooth that's coming out. I'm going to click the eyeball and then put the other one inside of it. I like mine to look like a little bit more cartoonish, so I sometimes make the inner part of the eye actually extend beyond the outer part. Now, I'm still kind of struggling with this lightning bolt shape. I'm not super big fan of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my custom shape tool, and I think this time I'm going to scroll down. I think this time let's get the other lightning bolt. So let's see, this one right here. So now let's draw this out. And if I flip it, that may be what I want to do. Flip it horizontal. Oh, we're getting there. Now, if I rotate it, let's see. Oh, I like that a lot better. It gives him some more of like a kind of a humpback look. So I like that better. So I'm going to use that one, and I am going to get rid of shape number 5 or whatever it was that we originally had the other lightning bolts. Okay, so now it is time to start coloring our dinosaur. And what you're going to do, you saw how I colored the mouth and the eyes. You're going to double click on each shape and choose a new color. I wouldn't want to choose this blue color right here because obviously it would blend in with the sky background. So just for what we're doing right now, I'm just going to kind of show you some different colors so that you can see how this would affect each shape. So I'm going to double click here and make this one yellow. These are kind of starting to look a little ugly. I'm going to double, oops, what have I forgotten to do? Forgot to hit OK. I'm going to double click here. Let's make this one blue. Let's go get our star shape or our heart shapes. And I'm going to do this really bright green. Now, guys, I am being super quick on this, and mine doesn't look very good because I'm kind of going in a rainbow fashion, but I'm doing this so that you guys understand kind of how this would look. Let's change this one to green as well. Okay, so when you look here, you're going to see that you have the layers will overlap each other, and I want the body layer to be on top of, especially on top of the legs. So I'm going to drag this blue oval. I'm going to click in my layers panel and I'm going to drag it up and let go. And now that blue is going to be on top. Now I think that our pink lightning bolt, like part of this that's down here should be hidden. So if I want to hide it, I'm going to drag the pink shape and I put it behind the blue. And then if I want it so that his neck looks like it's coming off of the body, I would, again, drag it below the blue. And so probably need to move his face on top of the neck. So basically you're just going to drag these in different orders so that you get the look you're hoping to achieve. Now, the last thing that we're going to do, we're going to make a lot of animals using this concept. And right now, you may look at this and see, hey, that's a dinosaur, but we need to create it so that it's one shape. So I could move it to a different location, I can resize it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my very top shape. It doesn't matter what the shape is. I'm going to click on the very top one. I'm going to hold down my shift key on my keyboard and I'm going to click the bottom shape. When I do that, you're going to see that everything is selected because you're going to see the outlines. Now, I can either press Control G, meaning that it's a group, or I can come down here to my folder. The folder is next to the new button. And if I click on the folder, now what that does is it puts all of those shapes inside a happy little contained folder. So I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to call this Dino 1. The reason I'm calling it Dino 1 is because in a moment we're going to start with another new layer and we are going to build some more animals. Now with Dino 1 in a folder, I can Control Alt T and resize him and make them small or tall. I can move them around. I can right click inside and flip horizontally. If these were all done as separate shapes, that might be really difficult for us to do really quickly. So that's why we put it in a group. Okay, last thing, we're getting ready to save our document. We're going to go to File, and we're going to choose Save as a PSD. Okay, when we save it as a PSD, we're going to put our name in front of it and the word dino. But here's the cool thing. Because we named it when we set it up, we don't have to worry about choosing a new name because it should be correct already. So we save it as a PSD. And then after we save it as a PSD, we are still not done. We're going to go to File, and we're going to export as a PNG. And when we get the PNG, we want to make sure PNG is selected here. I want my quality to be 100%, and I'm going to say Save. Okay, it's going to download a copy of it on my computer. When you go into Google Classroom, you're going to turn in the Dino and the PSD and the Dino that is a PNG. Both of those count towards your grade. Now in the instructions, it tells you that you're going to add 4 additional dinosaurs. Your dinosaurs can't look like mine. And the reason that I'm giving you all these shapes when you go to your custom shapes tool is so that you guys can experiment and play around, be creative. Maybe you have some flying dinosaurs. Maybe you have some dinosaurs that we've never seen before. But you definitely need to create 4 dinosaurs. And then we're going to create an environment. And so the environment could be some rocks on the ground with maybe some trees in the background. You can put the dinosaur wherever you want, but you're going to build a background. Okay? Dinosaurs, if you only have 4 dinosaurs, this one that we created and 4 more, so that's a total of 5, 1 for each finger on your hand. When you've created all 5 dinosaurs in your background, if you were to just turn in the 5 dinosaurs, you will not get a passing grade. Okay, you need to turn in the dinosaurs with a background image. And in Google Classroom, I'm going to provide some examples for you guys so that you can see some ones that were done by students in the past and hopefully get some ideas. Please don't copy them exactly from what the examples, but you definitely can kind of use those to help you. If you have any questions, you can email me or email your teacher, and hopefully one of us can get back to you soon. Thanks, guys.